But I remember right after I got saved, now I wanted to go to church. And every time they had a service, I mean, when they had the fall revival that year, that was in July, and fall revival, I was there for everything.
Yeah.
And they had a visitation program, I was there. They had a Bible Institute. When they started that up, I was there. And it was not that I wasn't trying to do any of that to be good or, to try to get a certain status amongst the people that were there as a part of that church, because I got baptized pretty quickly right after I got saved. I think I went down the next week and
Yeah.
and presented myself to be baptized to become a member of the church there, and just got right in, and
Yeah.
don't remember having any reservation at all, and I was so excited to get involved in church and just to be there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, when I say involved, I wasn't really involved in a whole lot other than just being there and being like a sponge and soaking it all in. But I wanted to be there every day.
Yeah.
Every time they had the doors open, I wanted to be there. And it was something that, that I recognized very quickly. This wouldn't have happened without God doing something. God had to make a new man inside of me for this.
All of a sudden, yeah, your desires are different. The people you want to be around are
Right.
different. The crowd's different.
Yeah, and I remember having friends that we had hung around with. Some of them had kind of wondered what had happened to us because we didn't vanish off the map, but we're
Yeah.
in church a lot.
Yep.
So I'm working, I'm going to church, going to visitation program, starting to fellowship with some of the other believers there at the church. And a lot of that took up a lot of the time, and a lot of these people that we hung around with, they're thinking, what happened to Matt? What happened to Katie? Where'd they go? And even to this day, we'll get occasionally around somebody, and they'll ask us, what we've been doing, because they think if you're not a Christian, when someone gets saved and God drastically changes their life, Satan wants to bring in this idea that they took this purple pill.
Yeah.
They've been brainwashed.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're forcing them to do all this.
Yeah.
We should we set up an intervention? And people think this.
Yeah.
And so I remember being asked by different people what had happened and where we'd been, and it never was a situation where none of those people were invited to go to church with us, and I would try to witness to several of them. And at least one of them that I can think of ended up making a profession of faith later, and I think one of them's in church today, but a lot of them are not.
Right.
But to this day, there was never a point where they weren't welcome to come where I was. God had just changed where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't where they were and doing the things that they were doing.